Boa tarde, irmãs e irmãs. Espero que você tenha muito bom dia. This is your man Larry, American Brazilian. Listen, I hope you guys have been having a good day. Pardon my short hair. I cut it, I think, a little bit too short. But anyway, I wanted to jump on here and speak about something that I saw on Brazilian TV on a show called Fantástico, which is a part of the Global Network. And on that show, they segment and highlight different things that they feel are that Brazilians are interested in, things that happen both in Brazil and out of Brazil that might connect to Brazil in some kind of way. So it's kind of like the entertainment of tonight, so to speak, with more of a common feel concerning everyday people, not just celebrities. Well, anyway, last night they highlighted one of the segments of that show was the objectifying of Brazilian women. And so a couple of days ago, it came to the attention that there was a party being thrown in Sao Paulo by two American men who are self-proclaimed pickup artists. They have a website, and their target audience is primarily men of means, millionaires and people who are, kind of well-to-do, right? And the name of their website is the Millionaire Social Circle, I believe that is. And so I'm reading from this, so I apologize. I'm going to try to be as brief as humanly possible. And the caption of this article says, Brazilians say that they were guinea pigs of coaches in the course of conquest. So in other words, it's a social experiment they felt like they were a part of, unbeknownst to them. And so I'll just kind of read a little bit. I'll try not to be as wordy as this long article would suggest that I need to be. So anyway, in any event, this site alleged foreign coaches who sell courses for men, Brazilian women who claimed that they were taken to a party in Sao Paulo promoted by two alleged foreign coaches, dating coaches, not knowing that, in fact, the event functioned as a practical class for a course in which they taught men how to pick up women. The party was promoted in a mansion in Morumbi by Americans from the Millionaire Social Circle, who offer what they call training for up to $50,000. So it's from $12,000, these trainings from $12,000 to $50,000, which is about, in Brazilian capital, 260,200 reais, according to the current quotations. For me, and this was a woman who shall remain nameless, but I'll put a link in the description box to this, and you guys can feel free to read it. I managed to find it in English, so you can read it. Okay, it says, for me, it was a normal party just between friends. I didn't know there was a course around it where men want to conquer women, said one of the women to TV Global or Global TV, who preferred not to be identified, which is why I didn't say her name, because nobody knows who she is. I felt used, I felt deceived, betrayed. That for me was the height of the absurdity and the height of machismo. Now, when you hear machismo spoken by Brazilian women or women in Latin America, some people might automatically think, well, that's kind of like a feminist kind of terminology. And in some cases it is, but I'm being objective. I'm just kind of promoting the information or providing the information to you guys. And you can come up with your own conclusion. Anyway, I'll continue. According to the civil police informed The Earth, the case was registered this Wednesday, the 15th, by one of the young women who attended the party through the electronic police station. Who knew there was such a thing? The 27-year-old victim reported that she met an unidentified man through a dating app, and he invited her to a party. Upon arriving at the place, she noticed the presence of foreign men who took pictures and videos of her to promote a course of relationships. The events took place on the 26th, I believe it was last month. One of the women gave an interview to Global TV. The occurrence was recorded as favoring prostitution or another form of sexual exploitation and as an agent enticement. Now, if it sounds kind of weird, it's been transposed from Portuguese to English, so it might kind of sound broken up a little bit. So it's not that I can't read; it's just hedging my bet, right? Okay, and okay. I'll start again. The occurrence was recorded as favoring prostitutions or another form of sexual exploitation, and as an agent enticement, transport, transfer, purchase, accommodation, or reception of sexual exploitation. The investigation will be followed by the 34th Police District, Morambai, responsible for the area where the event took place. And this says in bold letters how the course works. The price charged by the alleged American coaches Mike Pickup Alpha and David Bond to do the consulting, in air quotes, together with a 2-week trip to one of the countries available in the course. In US, $12,000, approximately 63,000 reais. In addition, they offer the option of purchasing a package with 6 countries for approximately 50,000 US, which is the equivalent of 262,000 reais. As described on the Millionaire Social Circle website, feel free to check them out. The two Americans teach you how to approach women and how to take them to bed in just one day. Sounds familiar? In a video, they claim that amongst the reasons why Brazil is on the list of one of the countries where the course is offered is that the girls are not shy. On the contrary, they are very open to more physical contact and with sexuality, in addition to being freer with their own bodies. What does that sound like? Still, according to the ad, Brazilian women are beautiful, curvilinear, and like dominant men. They also say that in Brazil, a kiss is like a handshake. Now, that's true. Foreigners offer a kit for participants to use on their trips, which includes morning after pills, condoms, and perfumes with pheromones. Pheromones is kind of like what attracts. You smell something, it's like, I don't know if you remember the old cartoons where the aroma would kind of cause the person to float toward it. That's kind of like what pheromones, they just kind of cause things they cause your body to react. They kind of create this, they get you in the mood. I'll say it that way. Without, they can get you in the mood. After the repercussion of the case, this Wednesday on the 15th, the artist known as Pickup Alpha, mocked the criticism he received. We had the biggest party in Brazil. Now, these are his words. We had the biggest party in Brazil and feminists couldn't handle it, he wrote on Instagram. It's a pretty long article, so if you go in, you can literally read. It's like a plethora of information that you can probably ascertain from it, and then again, you can make your own conclusion. Why am I making this video? It's simple. I think the tide is changing in regards to men who travel. Initially, when people would travel, even if it was for beautiful women, they would, I didn't know I had something on my lip, ignore that. They would do so under the auspices of actually meeting somebody to be in a serious relationship that could potentially lead to marriage. Now, you've always had people who are considered mongers, who travel for the sole purpose of sex tourism. In other words, they don't care about being in a relationship. They just kind of want to travel for sex. It's easy for them to do the pay for play thing. But what's happening is, and these are two white guys, all right? So what's happening is, we know that the feminist movement is kind of trying to inch its way and is already in some pockets creating these strongholds in various countries in Latin America. Well, when situations like these occur, what do I mean? When you have people that are using these pickup artists that are using verbiage that would suggest that women are easy, that you can basically just go and take advantage of these women in these countries. It kind of broadens the door that may have been cracked for feminism. So now it's kind of like, look, what we're saying is true. These guys are predators. They just come, they just want to use us and in some cases take advantage of us by force. And it gives credence to their argument. Now, why another reason why I'm doing that is this. I think the narrative is going to have to be changed. There's a narrative that's out there, and now that narrative is growing. What is that narrative? That anybody who travels is doing so for the sole purpose of exploiting women. And so when women in foreign countries see these beach videos, and listen, I'm not opposed to beach videos. I like to look at beautiful women just like everybody else. However, it kind of feeds into that narrative. Am I saying that people should not make beach videos? I'm saying use your discretion in whatever you do. But what I am saying is this. What I'm also saying is this. You don't want to validate a narrative that is not what you're about. In other words, you don't want to be a part of what's being viewed as a predatory traveler. We're going to have to create a new movement called, honorable nomads or something, because everybody that's traveling right now that are putting up these videos that are showing women's butts and stuff like that, they're gonna, but unbeknownst to them, they're having a narrative being created for them. And I think most people make their videos with honorable intentions. They don't, and I'll just give people the benefit of the doubt. They don't do so under the guise of promoting any form of sexual tourism. But again, there is a narrative that is being created that a lot of people don't realize that is going to lump people who might be well-meaning into that category. Something as simple as, when you're interviewing somebody, a woman, having that woman to get up and turn around and so men can gawk at her body. While some people might find that to be not offensive, other people might find that he's a predator or they're a predator. And so you have to be very careful. And do what you want to do. I'm just trying to be the voice of reason and let men know that Brazil has now adopted more of a liberal government. See, under Bolsonaro, things like this will kind of be swept under the rug. But with Lula, it's more of a liberal administration. So they take things like women's rights or feminism very seriously, certain aspects of it, I'll say it that way. So I just want brothers who travel to beware. Make sure that you're not inadvertently feeding into a narrative that is the total antithesis of what you're doing or who you are as a person. I remember when the thing happened with the brother Austin it's been a while now, but when it happened, there were people saying that, well, white guys do it too. Yeah, and now they're getting the brunt of the same type of vitriol, but here's the difference. Most of the women who are accusing them are women who look like them. They're just Brazilian. So they're white Brazilian accusing American men. And if you think that this is just going to be swept under the rug, then you're living in a fool's paradise. This is going to be addressed and this is going to be dealt with. In fact, what they're doing is based on the segment that I saw on Global last night on Fantastico on that program. They're trying to get in contact. First of all, they're trying to create new laws in Brazil to target people, specifically target people who they deem predatory travelers. And what they're doing is they're trying to create synergy amongst Latin America so that they can do the same. Again, these guys are going to different parts of the country, well, not just the country, but different parts of the world to promote their parties or promote their workshops, so to speak. So, brothers, if you are traveling, if you are people like myself that one day will be, an expat living in the country that you feel you're connected to, be careful not to, in the process of doing so, have your name or your content or your likeness or your image lumped into the category of being a predatory traveler. I have thumbnails of women on my videos, as I'm sure you guys have seen. I might put one on this one, I don't know. But it's always it's in context, right? But what I'm saying is they are really going to start cracking down on the beach videos, on showing people's butts, on getting women to stand up and turn around. I'm telling you, if you don't believe me, I hope you do, but you don't want to be in that category. So I think I've talked long enough. And let me just say this too. I was looking at a video, and I won't say any names, and I'm not against anybody, but I want to say this about Brazil because I love the country, the people, the culture. No place is perfect, but that's a place that I love. I heard it said that the women there, a lot of women there aren't marriage material, and I beg to differ. I think water seeks its own level, and that's no shade in anybody. I think that sometimes when we are at a certain place in life, we may not necessarily get what it is that we consider the ultimate in whatever it is that we're doing. And I think that once we reach that place in life, then the very things that we think didn't exist will automatically appear. It's kind of like that Chinese proverb, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So I wouldn't feed into that narrative. Anybody telling you, women, they just, easy, they just, too free with their bodies. They do this, they do that. There's, no, don't feed into that. Please don't allow anybody to deceive you like that. And just like, we've said ad nauseum that every woman in America is not bad, and unmarriageable. Every woman in Brazil is not unmarriageable. Don't believe that. You have to look at where you are in life and what it is that you want at the stage that you are, and let that be a determining factor. Again, water seeks its own level. So in any event, I will talk to you guys later. I am so sorry to be so long-winded. I wanted this to be a 5-minute video. Obviously, that didn't happen. So, Fala com você mais tarde. I'll talk to you guys later. This is your man Larry, the American Brazilian, saying até a breve, é verdade.